Bonjour.
Supernatural, metaphysical, paranormal. You know, all those things you've been wondering about? Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown? I hope you've got your walking shoes on, because life is an adventure, and this is the journey. Come on, let's go.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jen.
I'm Jena. Oh, that was kind of neat. That was like almost like an intro. Hi, we're here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It can't be our new dance music. It'd be way too slow.
I know it. Well, hey, we're the SHE-Squatchers. And we're here to talk. We're doing question and answer tonight. Let's see who's in the chat so far since we just started.
Yes.
Hey.
Hello.
I wonder. Everything looks smaller on my screen tonight, so I'm having troubles.
Yeah, me
too. Welcome to the show.
Bonjour, Chu.
Yay. Robert.
Hello, Robert.
Robert is here. Hi.
Good try, Jen.
I am trying.
I heard you try.
No, I was trying to read it and I couldn't.
It's really small. Both of us were like, oh my gosh, we can't see. Making this crease even thicker.
And hi,
Good
Kenny.
evening, Kenny.
Hello. Paul's in the house. Hi, Paul. Yay. That's who's here. Who's
hello, bonjour.
Oh, here's another one. Is it on there? No. Hello.
Hola.
I hope they all went up. I can't tell. They've just made everything look so much smaller.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble. Octopus is in the house. Oh, for awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So glad everybody's here.
Mm-hmm. And what a day. Oh, octopus with love.
Yes. Well, you put photos of you with dolphins online, so now everybody knows you went somewhere.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I had such a good time. I'm not kidding. Okay, so I can't say who I went with, but I went with somebody. It's not a love romantic interest. It's a friend. But anyway,
it wasn't me.
No,
it wasn't me.
She cried and whined and cried, and I said, "One day, Jen, one day." But no, I was asked to go on a cruise, and I said, "Of course, there's any time you ask me to travel, and I'm going to be up for it." And so we hopped on a cruise ship, and then there's these excursions you can pick from, and there's a bunch of different ones. And I ended up wanting to go on the ATV in the jungle, but they ended up canceling that one. And so the next day I thought, well, I want something amazing, and I can go on an ATV anytime. And I saw the dolphins, and I was like, which one's the most interactive with the dolphins? And they said, this one. And I said, okay. And it had like all you can eat, all you can drink. I really didn't care about any of that. I was all about those dolphins. So my sister didn't. Oh, I already said it. Damn it. It was my sister. I went. I'm so bad at that. I'm really bad with secrets. Anyway, we ended up, Lisa and I went on a cruise, and it was so amazing. So I ended up picking the dolphins because, like I said, I could go on ATV anytime I wanted. And so I picked the dolphins. She stayed back at the ship, and I went out, and it was beautiful. We took a bus out to the area, and it was a really big building with outdoor, that there was like all these pools right next to, oops, hold on. My camera just decided to follow me. Okay, it didn't. Anyway, the story, I'm squirreling out. But anyway, there was these pools, and there was little areas for the dolphins, different dolphins to be in. And I'm so lucky. I was a solo person, so I went to a really cool one. And oh my gosh, Jen, it was so freaking amazing. Okay, so first of all, you get in the water. I'll just try to say it quick. Sometimes doesn't happen. Anyway, I got in the water, and you had to have life jackets on, and there was like a line of people, and then they'd call you to come out and interact with the dolphin. And I must have been called 4 or 5 times. Nobody else really got that much attention. But not only was I out there with the dolphins, like in the middle of the section, they also would bring the dolphin in front of me and have other people, touch the dolphin and hug the dolphin and different things like that. And all the while that it's in front of me, it's going, well, that's not what it sounded like. But how did dolphins sound? No, that's wrong anyway. But yeah, so anyway, the dolphins were right in front of me, and it just kept like singing and singing and singing. And even the gal said, she goes, "My gosh, you're talking a lot." And I was like, because I was totally sending the dolphin love and everything. It was just so amazing to feel them and touch them. And I got to put my arms like around it and the skin and the feeling, the energy, which I really thought the energy was going to be like massive, like, wah, but it wasn't. It was so calm. It was just so calm. And it was such a beautiful experience. And hello.
The mullets are in the house.
Ooh, ooh.
Hi, John.
So yeah, so that's what I got to do. And it was the most beautiful experience. I will do it again and again and again. I will totally swim with the dolphins, not out in the wild. I have heard those stories. Marine biologists were online talking about it.
I just want to bring up one of the recent live shows that we did where I said, I really want to go with the dolphins. You were like, no.
Not in the wild, though. They're humpers. They will attack women.
You were saying no to dolphins altogether.
Oh, no, I love dolphins. I was saying no to the wild. To the wild. They're humpers. Unless it's like an environment where they're controlled. Yeah, I'm good with controlled. Aw, they liked you. I know, right? They did like me. What's that show? They liked me. They really, really liked me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it is now.
So, yeah, that was pretty amazing. As long as you're not swimming with the fishies, no doubt. Well, actually, I wanted to do that too. They had snorkeling, and I guess the snorkeling in the area, because we had gone to Cozumel, to Mahogany Bay, and to, what was the first place we went? Jen, do you remember what I told you?
I remember Mahogany Bay, Honduras. I remember Cozumel.
Yep.
That's all I remember.
What's the first one? Oh, well, stay tuned for the next show where you get to find out the first place I went on the cruise. But it was a great cruise. The one thing about cruises are, boy, the food, it's all so processed. Next time I go on a cruise, because we wait for last minute deals, so they're really inexpensive. But the next cruise that I go on, I'm totally bringing tuna packets. It's for my health. They're going to have to accept it. It's a lot of processed food. Oh, it's so bad.
If dolphins were on land, they'd have mullets.
Rock and roll. They would. And they look so good. Just like you, mister.
I love it. I love mullets, actually.
Quick question.
Okay. Let's hear it. I want to hear the question. It's a line from the Godfather movie, Mafia throwing people into the ocean. All right. Sounds good.
What is the line?
Swimming with the fishes.
Oh, ding dong. Sorry. I was late. I was still in awe of my experiences.
Yes. So here I was holding down the fort.
Yes, as you do very well, Jen. Well, I'm out and about, squirreling out.
Squirreling out.
That could be a song. I'm out and about. I'm squirreling out. No, I'm kidding.
So that's one thing that we're going to be offering when we're doing our lives with just Jena and I and all you all out there. If there is something that you would like Jena to sing, type in a phrase in all caps with the word sing in front of it and see what she comes up with in the moment. Don't that be fun?
You brought it out. You did it. You said it out loud. You said it out loud.
I was going to do it.
Let me prepare.
How about feeling squirrely?
Ooh, I don't see caps.
No,
I'm kidding.
But he's wondering, what does feeling squirrely mean?
Oh, feeling squirrely. Basically, when I'm trying to keep concentrated, and then all of a sudden I'm just like thinking about something else, and my brain is just like so it's all over the place. That's what I call squirreling out, feeling squirrely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How fun is that?
Yes.
Oh, my phone. I'm getting messages up the yin yang on my phone.
I took all my stuff and turned it on mute. My stuff.
Well,
Not
mine is
not
on
that
mute.
I hmm?
It is on mute. I just noticed it lighting up is all. It's all okay. Here it is. This is a sing it.
I love it. I love you, Smokey. How about
I
that?
love it.
LOL.
There you go. There you
Actually,
go.
I have to say, I really have a hard time feeling confident when I perform on stage and things, and when I sing, only because when I was young in like high school, and I had a great voice, but I found out from my teacher, I was taking voice lessons, and my teacher looked at me and she said, Jenna, you've got such a beautiful voice, but you look constipated. And ever since then, I worry what my face looks like. Like, do I look constipated when I sing? So I get worried on stage and things like that. So my mind isn't quite on the music. It's more like not looking constipated. So that there was not a constipated sing, I don't think.
Hello, Stephen from the Cryptozoology and Paranormal Museum. We love
Stephen.
you. We've been there, remember? That was a fun trip. Everybody should go there and see that in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Cryptozoology and Paranormal Museum. Highly recommend checking Stephen out.
Now, is that the one? Is that the one that has our great big poster of us on the wall? We were like, oh, we want a poster.
I don't think that they have a poster of us on the wall at that museum. I think that's in either Washington or Oregon or California. I'm not sure.
Okay.
As we haven't been there, somebody just sent us video of it.
We were somewhere where there was the poster on the wall, because when we walked in, we were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you remember everything.
I remember somebody sending us video of that.
Yeah, there was a video, but there was also us literally physically walking into I think it was a like store. I'm not sure if it was a Bigfoot store, but we were up on the wall.
That might be true. All right.
Aw.
Here's the question. MB Johnson Park, which is in Moorhead, the teepee structures. Is there an off chance these are Sasquatch creations? I'm guessing these are probably the work of kids, but who knows what you think. Okay, so I'm going to say that when I was nearby that park doing a paranormal investigation at the cemetery, when we approached the wood line of the back of the cemetery, and I had my senses open trying to sense the ghosties. All I was picking up was Bigfoot back there. And so then I hadn't looked at the area from Google Earth or Google Maps or satellite imagery at all. So I wasn't even sure what was back in those woods. I said, is the river back there? And they said, yeah, it is. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm too focused on Bigfoot lately, but all I'm picking up is Bigfoot. So within 2 or 3 weeks, one of the guys that we were out with doing the paranormal investigation went out there to that area to do some night fishing. And they had a Bigfoot encounter that was roaring and roaring at them and throwing big stones into the river and trying to chase them away. So it's possible that those structures are made by Bigfoot. It is possible. I don't know if we can know for sure, but it is possible that they are because there has been activity back there. So very nice. Any other music for the album coming out?
What was the line? I love you, Smokey. It sounds like a great start to a new song.
It does. Jennifer, hello, Mr. Lost Lord Huck, welcome.
Hello.
I know who that is.
You do?
Yeah. Don't you remember from last time?
Oh yeah. Hello.
Yes, we want to come back on your show. The words are so tiny right now.
Yes.
But you know what? I think it's so cool. We should all have mullets.
No, not me. I don't want a mullet. I'm sorry. I already have enough issues with getting this stuff
We could just put the front of our hair back. Yeah. We could do like...
Oh, I look great in a mullet. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm so used to having my hair up.
We could do like that. We could do like...
That is not a mullet. We'd have to really go hardcore. We'd have to put on like a huge wig. I've got some wigs. I bought them from Temu, I think.
I think I'm okay. Sing this, Jena.
Okay. Let me read it first, perverts.
Is it a
No, I'm
real
kidding.
song? Or is it
Waiting
just
for the winds of change to sweep clouds away, waiting for the rainbow's end to cast away your gold way, countless ways to pass the day. That's a lot to sing. Okay. Waiting for the winds of change to sweep the clouds away, waiting for the rainbow's end to cast its gold your way. Countless ways to pass the days. Okay.
Yay, Jena! Woo!
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Hope I did well.
All right. And
I love that. That's so fun.
He says he can make the mullets happen.
No, not for real. I won't cut my hair in a mullet, but I can't
will
wait
not
to
cut
see
my
what
hair.
you do to make it happen.
I will not cut my hair either. So.
Oh my gosh. If we go on his show, we could totally wear like a fake mullet. We could order one on Amazon or something. He said he'd make it happen. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. That would be awesome. So last week, Jena had scheduled some interviews and then she left on vacation. So I did them by myself.
I would like to cut in and say I spent like over $150 on the internet on the ship, only to find out at the end that the guy said, because I complained about it. I said, I just spent all this money and I missed 2 interviews. And he said, well, they're not 4G. And I thought, well, had I known that, yeah. So I'm sorry, everybody, I missed those interviews, but I'm sure Jen did a fabulous job.
You didn't let me finish my thought there. So
sorry, squirrel.
The point of saying that was that in one of the shows that was live on YouTube, there were so many people in there that had questions that they couldn't get to all of them. So I promised that Jena and I would come on and do another live question and answer session on our YouTube channel so that we could get to some of those questions. So if anybody has questions they want to ask us, we are here for that. That is why we are here.
We are.
So,
by the way, I lost 2 pounds. Oh, yeah. I lost 2 pounds, and I like to say, yay, 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 yay.
You did?
I did. 2 pounds. I know it's not a lot, but
it is a lot.
For me, it is.
You're
in a week.
It's a lot.
I'm not short. I'm 5'5" at a good stretch, Jen. That's not short.
Okay, but when I lose 2 pounds, it's not a lot. Your 2 pounds is my 4.
I have so much muscle that I hope I didn't lose muscle because I didn't notice it on my stomach. It did not come off my stomach. Maybe a thigh. Maybe my left thigh had 2 pounds removed.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all good. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
You bet. Well, this is not good. I got, just so you know.
Yeah.
We can win tonight.
Yes.
So everybody think about us winning the jackpot and the Powerball tonight because it's going to happen. And then you're going to see some freaking amazing things from the SHE-Squatchers.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? What would you guys, okay, if we won the lottery and you wanted to see us do one amazing thing, where would it be and what would it be? That's what I'm curious. If we had like unlimited money to do an expedition of a wow performance. Yeah. Not that it'd be performance, but.
Right? Well, where would you like us to go? Like if we had all the money in the world to do it, like we won the lottery, what would you like to see us do as far as an adventure?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, Jena.
I know. I'm full of it. I'm full of good questions.
Oh, the place in the Alaska place. Are you serious? That would be fun.
What time of the year would be the warmest place or warmest time to go to Alaska?
Well, I if I remember correctly, that's the place where everybody where they abandoned it because they died.
Well, aren't we going to feel great?
From Bigfoot attacking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you meant of the cold, and then it just like reiterated that I don't like the cold. But oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be interesting. If that's the place I'm thinking of, I think it is. Water ski Loch Ness.
Ooh, I haven't water skied for so long. I'd probably get an enema.
You don't want to go in the summer because of the mosquitoes. Go to land between the lakes and northeastern Alabama. We're thinking about doing that anyway.
I think that's already on our list. Have we been there yet? But it's a great idea.
We haven't. Although I did have an experience in Alabama years before I even was thinking about Bigfoot. I did have an experience in Alabama. I went down for my stepson's Army graduation and at Fort Benning, Georgia, but we were staying in Alabama because I guess it's like right on the edge. And I had an experience by the river, and it was very unique. We were walking along the river, and it was very scenic, and so everybody's looking at the river, and my attention went the other direction to the hill with all the foliage in front of it, and I felt very strongly that there was something in the foliage, and so I walked up to the foliage, and I'm looking at it, and I was married at the time, and my husband's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "There's something in there watching us." And he's like, "Oh, whatever, Jennifer." And I'm like, "No, I'm serious." And I really started putting my face in there. And then this bug comes flying out like right in my face. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And I swear to you, it wasn't a real bug. It was more like an android bug. And it was trying to like get me out of there. And so I backed up and I said, "I know you're in there."
And who were you talking to? Who did you feel you were talking to?
It was either military, like hiding, or it was something else, some other kind of observatory, some other humanoid somethings were watching. And I said that to my husband. I said, "That wasn't a real bug." And he's like, "Jennifer, that technology doesn't even exist." Well, then it wasn't that much later that we were watching a TV show called That's Impossible. I think it's called That's Impossible. This is a long time ago, and they had the little bugs on there that were remote controlled, and they were to spy on people. And I'm like, that's what flew into my face.
Yeah, now we've got to be worried about bugs. I don't kill bugs, but I may just start taking a better look at them because they're always talking about those things nowadays.
Yep, it was Port Lafayette, Scott, that it was right the place I was thinking of. I'll meet you in the LBL. Heck yeah, with your mullet.
Yes, that would be amazing. That would be awesome.
Yes. Go to Cali and dance a dance with Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, I really want to go to California soon.
Didn't he just turn 100 years old?
No way.
I think he did.
Wow. I thought he died.
No.
Dick Van Dyke?
I think it was just his birthday. I think he just turned 100.
I'm sorry, Dick. I did not mean to. I did not mean that. Sorry, Dick.
All right. Have you heard of the researcher Tim Coonbo Baker? He says he has Sasquatch on his property in northwest Alabama up against the Tennessee River. I've never heard of him.
I'm just looking it up right now.
Okay. So, yeah, that would be cool.
Oh. It says, yeah, I'm not very good at this stuff, so I'm just going to stop looking.
100 on the 13th of December. No idea what you mean by that.
Temperature, I'm sure. No? Oh. No, maybe? I don't know.
No idea what you're referring to. So, yeah. Do you have any other questions for us? Because here we are to answer them. I know that all the people that were watching that other show are not in here right now, but oh my gosh, you should have seen all the questions. They were just, there was no way that we were getting to all of them. It was crazy. So, yeah, it was nuts. So, woohoo.
Yeah. So I've been thinking, not that this has anything to do with Bigfoot, but I've been thinking, so I've got wrinkles, right? I'm like 51. And I asked today about Botox, because I don't want to do Botox because I don't think I'll look like myself if my face is like this. You know what I mean? but they have something that relaxes the muscles versus Botox, where it'd be like, ah. So I'm thinking about trying it. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll really happen, but I'm thinking about it. What do you think, Jen?
I'm doing, well, I've just started doing some lymph drainage.
Nice. That's wonderful. I love lymph node drainage.
I got a lymph brush for my face, lymph brush. So I've been doing that. I just started doing that. And then I just started with a full skincare line rather than just parts. So I've started that and I'm enjoying that. So
what do you think about what I was saying?
I think it's very interesting. I don't know anything about it other than what you just said.
Right? I told Lisa about it and she goes, "You try it first."
Yeah, you
So-
try first. I'm trying the Korean product care line that's supposed to be Botox in a bottle.
I hope it works for you.
But it's just skincare with the right ingredients. So far I'm loving it. What time of day do you get the most activity with Sasquatch?
I feel like daytime is the bigger time. I really do.
Well, we've had a mixture of both. Like we've had daytime sightings. We've had quite a few daytime sightings. And the closest one was 30 feet away. So that was pretty intense. But nighttime seems to be their time. And right when the sun starts to set too, as well. So of course at night, you're not going to probably see them very well, if at all. So then you're dealing with more sounds and rocks flying, and noises, where during the day you might actually get to see them. So.
Right. I was just going to say the visuals are so much better during the day, and at night a lot of times our brains are freaking us out anyway, so you start to assume certain sounds are maybe Bigfoot or other animals or spiritual. And yeah, granted, we experienced things at night too, but personally I prefer day. If I won the Powerball, I would look into buying a heavy-duty RV with strong walls. I would go searching for Bigfoot in it. You would have to let us know if that ever happened, because we'd be driving right behind you with a scamp.
Covered with on the outside with cameras and audio recording devices. That would be amazing.
Yes, it would be.
Hopefully those would also be like really, really cemented in, so they'd be protected as well. Yeah, no kidding. I can't remember what I was going to say now. There was something I was going to say.
About sightings?
What would you do if you ever came across a nest with sleeping squatches in it? Try to take samples, photos, or run away?
I think they would know that we're there way before we would know they're there. So
I think that's true too. But what if we did come across them sleeping? I think I would be leery of waking them up. I don't know. What would you do, Jena?
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm wondering, like, if we were walking, I'm trying to picture us walking, and then all of a sudden coming up to den. The first thing would happen would be like a pure shock, adrenaline, and then we'd have to assess what the heck. We couldn't run because, I mean, I'm sure the sticks and everything would be pretty loud if we ran and started like heavy breathing or panting. I'd probably just sit there and go, to be honest, just be like, like take it in and see what happens. Because if they're going to rip me apart, they're going to rip me apart. If they're going to, pretend sleeping, I'll gently, softly walk away with my back toward where I'm going, front facing them. What about you?
I don't know. I think I'd be in shock, number one. Number two, I definitely probably try to get some video. Yeah.
You think you'd be able to do that? Like, would your mind be, because if you're in shock, you stop thinking clearly, and there's a fight or flight response.
That's true. That's why I have my quick cam on my phone. I have quick cam.
Well, speaking of,
and it's on camera.
I'd like to change my answer, please.
Yeah.
If that's the scenario, I would be wearing my Meta glasses and I'd be like, Meta, start recording.
There you go.
Yep. Cool. So Yeah, that's what I do.
Hope it doesn't wake them up.
Right.
Right. Let's see. Correct, Jen. Make the cameras and the audio part of the structure to protect them from outside damage.
Yes.
How was Europe? Oh my gosh. I freaking love Europe.
Yeah.
It went by way too fast, I think. And we were traveling so much. I think we did too many countries.
Big time.
A lot of the days were wasted with just travel days. So I think that if we ever went back again, I would want to do less countries and just dig into certain places a little bit more.
For sure. About half, close to half of the time that we were there was spent on trains, planes, automobiles. The time spent traveling was just way too much.
Yeah. Best answer ever, Jena. The meta glasses.
Right? I know. I'm really liking them. And Saturday, my sister and her husband they made an appointment over at the Woodlands Mall, and they're going to do, they're going to try on the ones with the display. And I invited myself just so I can try the ones with the display, because they're not selling the display ones yet. You've got to actually go in and see if you like them. So
they're not selling them yet, but they're going to be coming out.
Yeah. I have not been able, when I go in to see if they're selling them, it says you have to make an appointment at one of the local stores, at one of the stores.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like I said, I invited myself. So now I'll be, why don't they have like 2 lenses, one for the display and one for the other stuff?
What is the display?
So the display is, there's like, you know how my car has a window, on the window you can see what's okay. So that's just like on the glasses. They actually have like a small square on the glasses. So you can ask, like, if I'm going to be saying, Meta, what does poison ivy look like? I'm using it as an example again, Jen, for you. And then it would bring up a picture of poison ivy. And then I'd be able to say, yes, Jen, that's poison ivy.
It doesn't help when Jason's pulling me through the poison ivy when I just woke up in my sandals.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So
I got really bad poison ivy this year. It was so bad it scarred me, and I'm putting vitamin E oil on it now.
Still. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's the thing. When we're out in these woods, we are getting, we're kind of getting hurt at times. So it's not all fun and games. And I really want people to understand that we're actually out there going through the brush. We're hiking through things. We're walking on unlevel ground. We actually wear hiking boots that go up past our ankles to give us even more support, because the unlevel ground, sometimes it can be a 2-inch, 3-inch difference. And if you roll an ankle, got to take those precautions.
When we were in Europe, we did a lot of what I call mountain climbing, although
that was hill climbing, Jen. That was a hill.
Calling them foothills, but I'm telling you right now, those are freaking mountains where I come from. They are mountains.
That's because
the registered mountains that are in Minnesota are nothing compared to what we were climbing.
Because Minnesota is farmland. It's completely flat. I used to have guests come in from other states, friends, and they'd get there, they'd come off the airplane and they'd be like, it's so flat here. That was their big thing. The first thing they'd say is, it's just so flat.
And you know what else they say? Your dirt is so black. I remember people saying that when they would come to visit when I was a kid. They were like going on and on about how black our dirt is. And I was like, dirt is black. I didn't know it came in other colors.
Oh, yes. Texas, on the way to Texas, it's red.
Yeah. I'm rocking the Crocs when we meet in the LBL. Yeah. I love it. That's quite the fashion statement.
Yes. And if they get lost in the lake,
oh my God,
there'll be Crocs, them their lake.
Yeah. We were working with Todd a lot. He came to Minnesota to do camera. He was one of our camera people for a couple of our documentaries up here. And he was wearing Crocs when we were going across the lake in the canoe. And yeah, we flipped the canoe and he lost his Crocs.
And Jen, what did you say? How fast you were going?
We were going like a bullet, so fast, like a bullet.
She said,
He said, let's go as fast as we can and beach it up on the beach. Go as fast as we can, like a bullet. He said, like a bullet. We were going as fast as we could, like a bullet.
you know, watching it from a different angle really made a huge difference.
We were going really fast.
Okay, it was kind of turtle-like, but I'll give you the experience.
We were gonna ram into the dog, and because the dog like laid down right there, and I was like, "Move!"
I'll let you have it, Jen.
We were going
It
fast.
was not speeding like a bullet. It wasn't. I mean,
it was going really fast for a canoe.
I've been in canoes. I've gone fast in canoes. You were coming to an end. It was like, you know, when you're coming into the sand and you're going just good enough to maybe take a couple few inches up on the sand. That's how fast it was. But you know what? It was probably felt fast. Like a bullet, Jen.
It was fast. And it was probably going in slow motion for you because it was so traumatic.
I wasn't the one in trauma. Sorry, busy dealing with in town. Wanted to let you know that we're planning on doing a Bigfoot drop for New Year's in Littleton, North Carolina. How cool!
I love that.
Yes.
Are you going to film this or is it going to be live? I think that would be so much better than the ball dropping in New York.
Yeah, no doubt. Is it really going to be a Bigfoot? Like, are you going to like have a Bigfoot and it like lower it?
Yes, that would be amazing.
A Bigfoot full of lights. Right. To a snail, a turtle is like a bullet. Thank you so much. I love that. To a snail. It almost sounds like the wise Chinese proverbs.
You should sing that, Jena. Sing that.
Okay. I've got the camera in front of me, so I look like I'm looking at, the screen. So if I go like this, it's only because I want to see what it says. To a snail, a turtle's like a bullet. There you go.
We're hoping to go live, and of course we will film it too. This is our first year. We're still working out all the bugs. I think that's a great idea because if it's live, I'm watching that instead of the New York ball for sure. Doing a tie-in with Timber Waters Brewery, the new brewery in town. It should be fun. I love how you work together with other businesses in town. I love that.
Big time camaraderie. Bigfoot. Floating down into
that would be fun. That would
be How big do you think it would be that like you could have like a Bigfoot in a ship? Maybe like a 5-foot ship?
That was somebody else posting that, so it might just be a suggestion.
Yes, and I'm just wondering too, how big could the ship be to fit like a Bigfoot? Because it couldn't be too heavy. So I'm just thinking. I want to see it now.
I want to see it.
I want to see it.
Yes, for sure. We would want to be in on that. That would be fun.
Yes. Wouldn't that be?
That would be fun.
It'd be cool to do something like that every year and do that the Bigfoot drop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it would also be very hard because we travel during that time too.
During New Year's?
Yeah. I'll be gone January 1.
Are you really going?
Yeah, I'm going to Morocco. Ooh.
We'll talk about it later.
No, I do what I want. I'm going to Morocco.
We'll talk about it later, though. You don't want to talk about it here.
Well, Jen, it's my business.
I know.
I don't need to talk about it here, but
you told me you didn't want anybody to know, and now you just said it on the show.
Because it's happening.
Okay. There you go. Ooh. Merry Christmas, Wendell. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, hello.
The size of a Pinto car. That would be funny. Yeah, that would be funny. That would be very funny. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Wouldn't it be cool to empty out, like just have the box of a car, empty it out and then put like a really light Bigfoot hanging out of the car. Oh my gosh, what a good idea with a Pinto.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I do too.
Oh, it's we're getting another storm
Oh
tonight.
no.
By morning it will be storming, they say. And I'm like, this is a big pain in my butt because as a self-employed person. Good night.
Mwah.
As a
Thank you
self-
for joining us for a little while.
yeah, thanks for being here. As a self-employed person, Christmas and New Year's falling into the middle of the week already is kicking my butt. But to have a storm also the week before in the middle of the week, not a good plan because everybody cancels. Plus, they close the road and stuff. Elon's sports car returning with the Bigfoot driving instead of the ball. I love it.
I think I like it too.
A VW bug would be better.
I haven't seen a bug for a long time. My sister used to have a bright orange one way back in the 80s. I was just a very little girl.
You're a very little girl because you're the baby.
I am the baby. But I tried driving it once and I ran it into the camper. My dad was so ticked. He came out and he goes, Jena! My mom was in the car with me and when moms get nervous and they go, stop! And you're like 12 years old and you don't know what to do. So you just slam on whatever's in front of you. That's how I dented the camper.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's a good story.
And the life of my childhood.
Yeah, for sure.
It could be why I'm so adventurous.
It could be.
Mm-hmm. All started with a camper.
You bet. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's hard to read all this stuff.
I can't believe it's already been almost 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, it has. It
Huh.
has. We're here for the questions, y'all. Put them in there if you have questions for us. We don't just have to talk about Bigfoot. We're open for whatever. We're psychics too. I just did an energy healing class. I really expanded the class to do more psychic development and helping them with understanding, tapping in, navigating that, and interpreting what they're seeing. And we do group work. So I always tell them, we're not talking during the session. However, everybody has to take notes during the session. So I'm like, once you get a pocket of information, when there's a little lull, then you stop and take notes and then come back to it. And so when it's all said and done, then we go out and we sit down and each of us share what we experienced. And they are in shock when they first start to see that they're experiencing the same things. And that they're, we're having these, they're not all exactly the same, but a lot of it is the same. A lot of it is the same. And when everybody in the room is seeing the same thing, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I really do think we're all, and I have to reiterate, I don't like the word psychic because I feel like even though that's a word that everybody can identify and understand what we're talking about. But to me, I just so feel that we're just receivers of information, and the information we're getting is to help other people and to, in a positive light. And so if I ever make Jen, if I'm ever like, when you say psychic, don't take it like personal, just because it's my feeling about that word. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Well, I know that you say that all the time, and I was scared to use that word for a long time because I thought people were scared of psychics or whatever. And, there's different kinds of people who do psychic work. And so, like, there's people who, like, somebody here is asking us to do a prediction of things that'll happen, to do your New Year's predictions and check them on 12/31 to see how many predictions you got right or wrong. So now here's the thing. When I do future stuff, those come to me as visions or dreams, and they just come to me. Like, I'm not asking for that. I haven't ever asked for future knowledge like that before. They just come to me, and it's usually something bad that's going to happen. And then it comes with a guidance that this is what you can do to make this not so bad. Like when COVID was coming, I was talking about COVID before COVID came, right, Jena?
Yes. Well, she didn't know it was COVID. She had just felt that it was.
I
I'll let you
said
talk
there's
about
a
it.
pandemic coming of a pneumonia-like sickness that's going to be everywhere. A lot of people are going to die not being able to breathe. And I knew that they were going to shut everything down. I said, go buy lots of non-perishable food, lots of cold medicine, masks, toilet paper.
And then everybody ran out of toilet paper because of Jen. Thanks, Jen.
So, I mean, we can maybe ask for our guides if we could have some information, but that's not something that we do on this. That's not the kind of psychics we are.
Right.
I'm usually get future knowledge of things that are going to be happening that are something that we can do something about. So, I mean, we can try, but typically, so when my native elder died, I used to always tell him my visions when I would see things with the guidances, because every bad thing that you see ahead of time, you only see it so that you can do something to help not be so severe. So when something would happen, it would comes with the guidance, like this is what's going to happen if you keep going on this path, but do this and it won't be so bad. And so I used to always give him the information when I would have visions about things like that. And then he died, and then I didn't give it to anybody anymore. And his uncle actually came and sat me down at a powwow, and he was like, you sit there. Cause the man was like 4'11" and I'm 5'9". And he's like, you sit down on that cooler. And I sat down. So I'm looking up at him, and he is literally scolding me that we're in big trouble now. And I was like, why? And he said, because nobody's having visions anymore. And if they are, they're not telling us about it. And I was like, ooh. And he's like, we've always known what was coming, and so that we could take the different path so it wouldn't be so bad. And now we're just living through this world going blindly walking down the path into trouble because nobody's telling us their visions anymore. And I was like, okay. And so then after that, I was telling the visions again.
So how do you tell them? Like when's the last time you talked to them about a vision you've had?
I did tell some about the COVID. The Standing Rock visions about the water cannons coming and how they were going to provoke the people. I didn't know what they were. I didn't call them water. I called them the swivel weapon because I didn't recognize what that weapon was. And I saw the girl's arm being blown off. And, I saw this other, and you were there in the tent with me when that happened, when I was having those visions, and there was like all these old native spirits in their tent, like showing me this stuff and telling me to tell them this and that and tell them not to react badly. And otherwise they're going to come in there and kill everybody in the camps. And 5 days later because I said, this is going to happen. I went and told him, I said, this is going to happen. It's coming. There's nothing you can do about that, but you have to not react badly. Everybody needs to know they can't react badly to this, or this is what's going to happen.
Did you tell an elder? Like, how did you approach them?
I told my cousin, remember my cousin Aaron?
Yes. Hi, Aaron.
And he was staying in the council, one of the 7 council fire tents or teepees with the elders. And one of the elders that he was staying with was one of the seers, but they were dreamers. I didn't understand, like when I actually went to talk to him, he told me that that he was a dreamer, and there was other Anishinaabe dreamers that were there at Standing Rock, and they had been discussing their dreams, but they didn't have anybody that was having waking visions. And I started out with dreams. And when you have prophetic dreams, you wake up and you're like, oh, well, maybe it was just a dream. But then I would have mine on repeat. Like I would continue dreaming that. I would dream about it all the time. And then I would know there's something to that. But then I kind of advanced into waking visions. So I was awake, seeing something and interacting with spirit in the moment. And then that's not a dream because you're awake. and seeing stuff. So then there's no question. And if that elder hadn't yelled at me or scolded me for not sharing my visions, I probably wouldn't have shared it there either. Because I just didn't feel that confident I'm confident in what I see. I just didn't feel like that my visions were that accepted, because I didn't realize how much they were depended upon, if that makes sense. So then when it was made clear to me, like that it was something that was very important to the people, then I knew it was time to share.
Awesome.
So how far in advance can you remote view an area before it's not valid anymore? That's a really good question. Okay, so in my remote views, sometimes I'm not in charge of the information. I've seen a remote view that is in the 1850s. It was showing me information from the 1850s. And the guy that I was remote viewing for, I was like, well, right here, I'm seeing the Native people are with the Bigfoot. And I was seeing them wearing their old clothes made out of hides and teeth and bone. I saw the woman was wearing this weird looking hat that I'd never seen before. And it was the traditional hat that their tribal people, the women, wore in the mid 1800s. And I just had never seen that before. And I had showed him, a picture of it later when I found a picture, because I was describing the hat. I was like, it's a hat. I don't never seen one like that before. Anyway, he knew exactly what I was talking about because he was from his tribe. But and this was out in the state of Washington for the Yakima reservation. And anyway, so I had identified. He told me later that I successfully identified where their tribe had a settlement in the mid 1800s. It's just woods now, but I identified it. The location of it in my remote view when I said that the people were together with Bigfoot there. And he said they really were, that the Bigfoot lived with them in their village in the mid 1800s, that they did live together and they could speak the same language. So that was really cool. So I can see into the past, I can see into the future in the remote view. Typically, I like to look pretty soon of when I'm going to be there. Or if I'm not going to be there, I'm looking for whoever is going to be there, which I do some of that. But again, when I say that, I can't do that all the time because a lot of people start asking, and then it's a lot. It takes a lot of time to remote view an area. And the other part of that is somebody asked me to remote view for them, and they were out in the field and they were somewhere in Canada, and they wouldn't give me GPS coordinates. They just said, oh, it's like about 10 miles north of this lodge. About 10 miles north in that general area. Can you just look? And I'm just like, can you just give me GPS coordinates and I'll look around you? Nope, because they didn't want to give up their hotspot location. And I'm like, listen, you are like seriously 25-hour drive away from me. I am not coming out there. So yeah, so if I'm going to trust you, you have to trust me too. That's the thing. So typically when I remote view for when we're going to be out at Randy Bauer's property by Black Duck, Minnesota, the last time we were doing that, when I was going to be out there, I did a remote view the morning that I was leaving, and I asked to see for the next few days, and everything that I saw happened. So that was pretty cool. And I was sending screenshots of the locations to Randy before I got there, of saying what I was seeing there. So that was pretty cool. If you took a clear picture of Bigfoot, what would you do with it? Well, of course we would share it. But, the thing is that when you start sharing stuff, people are going to start attacking you because everybody's like, that's not real. And so whenever we have anything to share, we share it with a grain of salt. This is what we found. Take it or leave it. We don't really care.
Mm-hmm. We know what we're experiencing and what we see. So no amount of people telling us that it's fake is going to change our experience.
Are you two married? When you've seen your husband, wife, don't want to assume, did you know that was your future spouse? Did you tell them? And what did they say? We are not married.
No.
We are not married. I have been married. there are times where I have met people and felt very instantly connected to them. And yeah, there is as a kind of a knowing there. So yeah, to tell you that, it's either there or it's not, right? It's either there or it's not. So, and there's always this soul connection thing. And then even when you're soul connected, if you still have to be on a similar frequency or a similar path to be really compatible, if that makes sense. So Jena and I are soul connected. And so we have such a very close friendship, and we're more like sisters that actually love each other.
That like each other. Not only love each other, like each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're so connected that, we're both empaths. We feel what other people feel, but more so together. If she's feeling nauseous, I'm feeling nauseous, or
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
maybe not something we want to share, but it happens. It happens.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a usual comment from one of us. Jen, are you nauseous? Yeah. Okay. That's where it's coming from. Because sometimes we think we may be sick and it's actually the other person. And I felt things from Jen I didn't want to. so I literally had to ask questions until I realized. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Squatch hotties are single. That's funny.
Game on, boys.
Game on.
That's funny.
Oh, that's funny. You should have had her sing that one.
Squatch hotties are single.
There you go. And just for those who are just tuning in, if you want Jena to spontaneously sing something for you, put it in all caps with the word "sing" in front of it.
Yes.
And she will do you a little jingle. How fun is that?
Don't be perverts.
Oh, for real. Make it respectful. Make it respectful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it wasn't on air, I'd probably do it. But if it's on air, I can't. I can't sing it like that.
So this is funny because when we're out in the public and we're meeting people, sometimes little girls are like, "Oh my gosh, it's SHE-Squatchers," and Jena will go into full on Disney princess singing about Bigfoot, just impromptu making it up, and it sounds like it should be in a Disney movie in the spot. So I mean, this is something she just does randomly in person all the time. She's always singing something.
You know what though? It comes from the energy of the kids. I mean, that's the part that turns you into.
Yeah. It would be fun. It would be fun, Disney, to do a Disney movie about Bigfoot and the SHE-Squatchers. That would be really fun.
Yeah. Can you imagine me running around in a foo-foo dress, burping? I burp a lot.
What is the best trick that you put on Jason?
Oh man. Best trick? I mean, we like to scare him. He gets scared easily. So, I mean, if we, he gets scared. As far as a trick, let's see. What have we done to Jason?
Well, whenever he's like, "No, stop making me laugh because I have to pee," then we make him laugh harder.
Yeah, that is probably the worst that we've done to him. Yeah. We've really, he's run away from us multiple times holding his crotch because he was so afraid of going to the bathroom in his pants.
Yeah, because he's got to pee so bad. And then we're like laughing.
And he's
like, "No, stop."
Right. And it eggs. I mean, we won't just egg him on and we start laughing harder.
Yeah. Let's see. What does this say? Finding a time in your life gives you the time to get to know yourself.
Finding a time in your life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
I think I understand it. One word, Jason depends. One word, Jason depends.
Like
oh, I get it. I thought you meant like depends. ...
No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be funny if we gave him? Oh no, it wouldn't. Yeah, I hope he wouldn't take it personally.
No,
but we could write in a ha 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 ha.
Yeah. No.
It's just funny because
I
when
will
you
tell
can,
you, we did introduce Jason to something that he is now addicted to, which is we had these, when you're in the hospital, sometimes you can get these wipes that you just wet and then they're foaming and it's like a bath. You can do a sponge bath, but it's literally foaming and it's soap, but you don't have to rinse it off. It works really, really good. And so I brought some on a camping trip where we were filming somewhere for I don't know how many weeks, but I brought them and Jason's feet were nasty, 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 woo, nasty.
not your
Like,
souls.
Jason, right? My feet don't stink. So I gave them to Jason. I'm like, please, Jason, wash your feet with these. And he's like, these are amazing. And now he brings them on every camping trip that he goes on. He's getting them himself now.
Oh, they
Um,
are. They are amazing. You can
yeah,
go anywhere. You can go into the bathroom, put a little water on it, and clean everything.
yeah, yeah.
Great job,
Then
Jen.
Jenna has emergency soap.
I do. I do. I have it all over my house. You should see all my wet ones. I've got wet wipes. I've got emergency soaps. I've got multiple kinds of soaps. I
Nice.
like to be clean.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we did introduce Jason to dry shampoo.
He is so fun. We have so much fun with him. Jen sat there and she was like, "Let me just put this in your hair." And it was the white kind. And the first time she put it in his hair was like this high. And he was like, "Oh, wow." And it looked good. It looked thick. It looked fabulous, but it was just so odd seeing his hair so high and
And
mighty
and white.
and white.
It looked pretty cool. It
Yes,
did.
it did.
And he's like, wow, I have so much hair.
Yeah. And now he asks for it.
Yes.
Now, the last was it? Oh, in Texas here, you had gotten a little one or a medium-sized one, and I was like, "Is that going to be enough?" Because I wanted to use it too, and or was that on another trip? Anyway, yeah. After Jason and Jen got done with it, I was like, "Is there any more?" No. I was like, "No."
Yeah, it was just a travel one. It was a travel size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good stuff. I just don't like using it on my hair and then taking a bath and because I got the color kind and it literally leaves like brown soapy residue.
If you use the brunette kind.
Yes.
Apologies for my fat fingers, worn off letters on my keyboard, and my migraine from heck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's too bad. I think you're in Fargo, aren't you? You can always come over and see me. We can help you out with that.
I hope your migraine gets better. And
Don't.
don't apologize.
Yeah. We use Jason? We do not use him as a makeup test subject.
Oh,
However,
no.
There is this little tube of makeup that I have that's called it's Westmore Beauty's 30-second or 60-second eye effects, and it's for the black puffy circles underneath your eyes. You put it on like this. You just swipe it and then dot 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 dot, and it like will get rid of your dark circles and your puffiness, and it makes everything look tight and young again. And I was telling him about it, and I said, here, let me show you. And so I put it on one of his eyes and not the other one. And then he went and looked in the mirror and he was like, oh, I need that stuff. And now he messaged me. He lives in Canada, and he messaged me because all of his female friends wanted to know exactly what that stuff was because he was telling them about it. And he's like, I bet you they just made a ton of money off of me telling everybody about it. So yeah, he was given the links to the ladies to go buy it because because after I did just one side of his face, he's like, do the other one.
It was significant. There was a huge difference between the eyes, and he was genuinely shocked and in awe.
Yeah.
You could see his eyeballs just like, I need it.
Yeah. And then I gave him some teeth whitener too, because I'm like, if you get the eye bag stuff and you keep your teeth whiter, you're going to look so much younger.
My teeth are white.
Your teeth are always like stark white. Oh my God. Your teeth are just, I'm jealous all the time of your whiteness.
Oh, thank you. I take care of my teeth. I don't like the dentist. So I've taken, ever since I've been younger, I take very good care of my teeth. I floss, I brush every day. I'm, yes, I have to take good care of my teeth or else I have to see the dentist.
Right. Yes.
But thank you. I like white teeth. Actually, that's why I wear red lipstick too. Doesn't it make them look white?
It does, but they're already very white.
Oh,
They're so white they almost look a little bluish.
I don't. Really?
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Hmm.
It's not a bad thing. That's when you should have left one side done. Yeah. Well, I started out like that so he could see the difference between the two, and then he was like, "Okay, do the other side," because he really liked the what it did for him. So
And he looked really odd with just one eye nice and tight.
yeah, he did. He did. So yeah. Anyway,
I'm not a fan of this stuff for my skin, but maybe that's just personal preference.
yeah, it might be. I mean, right now I've got it on and it feels all tight. So, but I only put it on in the morning, and that's it, all day long, and there it is. So
Do you use lotion over it?
I do. I put lotion first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I put my tinted sunscreen on because I don't use foundation. I just use tinted sunscreen, and then I just go whoop, dab, 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 and I'm done. That's it.
I use too much lotion on my face.
Yeah. Well, no, you use oil. I don't think it would work very good if I was using oil.
I changed actually.
Oh,
So now I'm using a whole new little thingy, but we don't have to talk about that.
yeah.
They're going to be like, this has nothing to do with Bigfoot. Get off the
Well,
air.
put in some questions in there. We want to hear about it. So my class was really good this weekend. So we had some really cool things going on. And it's like one of my favorite things to do is to teach Reiki and to do that psychic development and intuitive coaching with my students. I had one new student that came in. She drove really far from somewhere in Wisconsin, and she was already a Reiki master, but she wanted to learn from me and see how. And she said it was so different. Like her class was only a couple hours long when she had learned before, and here's me. Or we have to do a full solid weekend, and then you have to go do your homework and then come back for a whole nother day and do your homework again, and then come back for another whole day. And so there's a whole lot of practicing in between. And then I do this, the coaching. So if they have something that they're experiencing that they don't understand, they can always message me and we'll talk about it. And I help them understand what they're experiencing and how to navigate that, how to apply that. So to me, that's one of the funnest things to do. I love it. So I do that. If anybody's interested in coming for classes, just give me a message.
Speaking of, you should, do you have a plan on when your next class is going to be around?
I have 2 people that are before this class, last class started, said that that date didn't work for them. So I've got to get with them and see what dates would work for them, because we just pick a weekend and we go with that. So once I have a couple people to sign up for it, then we pick out the weekend that works for them, and then I start telling people that it's available for that weekend. So that's kind of how we do it. So the full weekend, I call it Reiki Core Intensive. Again, I've expanded the program. I've been teaching for almost 20 years now. And the reason that I expanded the program was because so many Reiki masters were coming to me asking me to teach them from the beginning, because they didn't think it took, or it just wasn't what they thought Reiki was supposed to be. And so in my classes, I tell my students, Reiki is, energy healing. It is everything that you think it will be. So if you think that this is what Reiki is, you're limiting it. Reiki is the doorway, or the path that takes you and opens all the doors, and it just continues to grow for the rest of your life, as long as you don't limit it and believe that it can do that. And so through the continuing coaching and things like that, I've got students who still come. They graduated the program in 2011, and they still come and do our group classes together because they're still getting more out of it. They're still letting their awareness expand. There's always more. As long as you're alive, there's always more to experience and more to expand upon in your consciousness. So, so again, I've got students that graduated in 2011 who are still actively coming to classes and participating because they're still getting more and more out of it. So there's that. My classes for the full Reiki Core Intensive, they get 2 certifications with that. And they that's $875. And then they go home, do 10 sessions on their own, taking notes. And then they come back for a full day of group work where we are we're having group visions and we're doing things like that. And just learning other forms of how you can use the Reiki in other ways. And so each time they come back, it's another $150 to be part of that. And in the end, they are certified Reiki master teacher or Reiki masters. And every time they come back, there's more to learn. There's always more. So it's Reiki plus intuitive coaching and psychic development. So if that makes sense, if that helps you, the people who have taken the class who are already Reiki masters from somewhere else, and we're not just saying from here, but from other states even, where they learned where they live, they say it's so completely different than what they learned in their original Reiki class. It's so much more. And my daughter just completed the program on Sunday. And I had been begging her for years. I wanted to teach it to her so badly. And she's like, no, she wasn't interested in doing anything like that. And just recently she asked if I would teach her Reiki, and I was so excited. And so we were on the second day of her first weekend class, and she's like, this is so much more than I ever thought it was going to be. Why didn't I do this years ago, Mom? And I was like, yeah, that's because you didn't want to. And she's like, well, I didn't know it was going to be this fun. And I didn't know it was going to be like this. I'm like, yeah, it's super fun. And so the girls that graduated this weekend, I said, you can still come to group classes if you want. And still, there's always going to be more to learn and more to experience. And they're like, we're definitely coming. We're definitely coming back for those. So I'm excited for that. I'm from South Carolina. Did you ever hear about the lizard man from Bishopville, South Carolina? And if you were to discover a legendary animal, how do you think it would benefit society as a whole? And would you want these legendary animals to integrate more into society? That's a 2-part question. Yes, we know about the lizard man. We know all about the lizard man. We know Dr. John. He had done a lot of work with the lizard man information and research out there. So yes, we do know about the lizard man. And if we were to discover a legendary animal, I don't know if it benefits society in general to know about anything like that. I think for the most part, people are just really focused on their own little lives, and they're not into knowing about new discoveries a whole lot. And, we could use the example of aliens, for example. Everybody wants to know, full disclosure, they want to know, are the aliens here? But not everybody really is into that. Not everybody really wants to know that. That's crazy talk to other people, right? Even though they have released the UFO files and things like that, showing that these are the real things that they've really investigated and that they're really out there. Not everybody's ready for all of that. I don't know that it benefits society in general. Like aliens might, into some degree, might benefit society because maybe we would feel more of a oneness with human beings, with other human beings, if there was something else.
See, I think it would benefit society in growth. We're all growing so much. And the only way to grow is to introduce new species, new ideas, new, I think that would be definitely part of growth. We are human beings. We need things to look at. We need things to find, some new adventure, some new interest in life. And even if a person isn't interested in that, they could become, and it could change their entire world. So I think it would definitely benefit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
There you go.
I don't think that, there's been different people that have talked about what if Bigfoot was proven to be real. I had a native man say in response to that he didn't think that would be a good idea. And I was like, why don't you think that's a good idea? And he said, what are they going to do with them? Put them on reservations? And I went, oh, yeah. What would they do with them? Because if they are people, which I do believe that the Bigfoot is just a different kind of people, when they have rights, I think that's kind of a big, what would we have to do for them? What would the government have to do for them?
But the world is so much bigger now. We have so much more to look at. And I hate to say that, we just group them into another group. I think integration would be amazing, and it's a possibility. Not saying that it will happen like that, but I think integration would be amazing if it ever happened.
So now from a Native American standpoint, integration is not a good thing. Because it was forced on the Native people to integrate. It was forced and they didn't like it.
But if this was something that they were wanting to do, they, as in the Bigfoot species, the Bigfoot community, if that's something that they wanted to do for the health of the earth or health of the humans or the health of the animals, I think it would be amazing. I just think that our world has changed so much, and we're getting more advanced, and the opportunities I feel like looking back at the past sometimes hinders our thoughts of what our future is going to be like. I liked what you said though earlier about limitations. When people put limitations on Reiki, when you said that, I thought, that's what's happening in life. When we start putting limitations on life, that's where everything stops and we get stuck. So I don't want to limit any possibility. And I know that may sound silly or naive, but really, anything could happen.
I love that.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Do you think that the use of cell phones, texting, connecting people's minds is opening up people's psychic abilities? Do you want to go on first on that one, or should I go first on that one?
To be honest, I'm not a huge cell phone fan. Social media, the whole works. Just, I think I'm going to be the devil's advocate with what you're asking about, because I think we are losing our humanity the more we focus our lives on cell phones and computers and all this online things. And as far as being psychic, I think people are getting a lot of wrong information about how to be, how to listen to yourself. There's a lot of people out there that just say random thoughts because they want likes on televisions, or they're sharing somebody else's ideas, where they're not finding it within themselves, and they're just repeating and regurgitating information. I honestly don't think it's necessarily connecting as far as opening up people's minds. It may get them interested in it, but I think that personal growth stands with the person alone. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, because I know Jena, she hates being connected to the phone.
I do.
Hates it. Yeah. But here's I'm all about it. So here's the thing. I think that because we're so connected online and we're so connected through the internet for people are noticing things they never noticed before. For example, the Mandela effect. They say the definition of the Mandela effect is that people are remembering history wrong. And I'm like, How could all of these millions of people remember history wrong, but the exact same thing? The exact same thing, they're remembering it wrong. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, if you think about it logically, how is it that we could all be remembering the exact same thing wrong? And there's lots of different examples of the Mandela effect. And if you've never heard of the Mandela effect, I encourage you to spend some time online looking up the most common Mandela effects so you can see which ones are true for you. So that being said, before there was the internet and people that were having great access to it, there was no way for people to connect across the world with other people to share that this is what I remember. How about you? I mean, they would just have to be like, well, maybe I'm wrong. And that's it, because they don't get to talk about it with anybody else. But because of the internet, because of people are so connected now, because they have access to people right there at their fingertips, in a moment, they can reach thousands of people at a time. And they are sharing, no, I remember that exact same thing. I remember that too. I remember that too. And so now they're like, hey, it's not just me. There's something else going on here. So that is helping people open their minds and to the possibilities of what else is going on here that isn't just us being wrong. There's something more to that. And so there's that information coming through. People can look information up when they have something weird happen to them. They can look it up and see, what might that mean? And they're opening their awareness to those possibilities where they didn't have an avenue to do that before. So maybe they would just forget about it and just go on with their lives. So I think there's a lot of good information that can be had. And, I'm on Facebook a lot, and I see a lot about people posting about empaths, people who feel what other people feel. And for the most part, a lot of empaths feel like this is a curse because they don't want to feel sad. They don't want to feel other people's pain. They feel overwhelmed when they go out in public because now they're sensing all the other people and they don't want to. And I'm telling you right now that people who are talking about it as a curse that they can't control have not developed their abilities. Because when you develop your abilities, you have more control of it and you know what to do with it. There is a reason for it. There is something good that you can do with it. And that's all stuff that I cover in my classes and things like that. Like that's all part of that. But when a person becomes a more developed empath, you can use that to help people. You're not feeling like it's a curse anymore to walk I used to have a hard time walking into stores because I was feeling what other people felt all at once and it was overwhelming.
So it can change your mood completely in an instant.
You can, it will, but you can get control of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you stop fighting it and just go into it and go through it and develop it. And so that's one of the things I do with my psychic development portion of intuitive coaching is I help them learn how to control it, how to use it to help people, because it's actually a gift. It's a gift.
Yeah. I do have to say the one thing that I don't like about, as far as the question about being opened to the psychic ability and everything, my biggest issue is I can't imagine how much wrong information that people are sharing and other people are taking that in as the word, like what it's supposed to be like. That's where I'm finding issue with it.
Yes. There is a lot of false information out there. Like why are people saying so-and-so died? And then you're like, oh my gosh, they died. I immediately go and do a Google search to see if that person's if they said, Dick Van Dyke died. If they said that, I would go type in a Google search, Dick Van Dyke news, to see if he really did die or if that's just something somebody's saying for clips, for activity on their accounts or whatever.
I just think there's two ways that things are going to go. They're either going to be, you can go online and ask one question and get two completely different answers. I just don't trust that we're getting the accurate information on internet. And I know maybe I sound like a fool, but really there's a lot of, you should have heard what they said about our team.
Oh, on the AI. That's
yes.
Fun. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
So, Jen, I should teach you how to read people off a photograph. I've been doing that for years. I've been doing psychic readings and all that. So yes, that's a very real thing. Lately, I've been posting on Facebook some videos where I'm doing eye contact with the video, no talking, just eye contact. And I'm trying kind of doing that as an experiment for people to feel the energy of connecting through the eyes. And so I'm like staring at the camera, like holding the energy frequency that I am looking into that person's eyes. And then at some point on some of them, I've been like changing my thoughts at a certain point in the video, and like literally telepathically sending a message and asking people, can you feel what I'm trying to give to you? I've had so much response from that. Oh my gosh. People are messaging me privately about, people are like, Jen, I was looking at your video. I was doing your eye contact experiment and I just started bawling. We're talking about full grown men who are saying, I just started bawling. I don't know what's going on here. I felt safe. And then all of a sudden I was just crying and I feel better. And I'm like, that was a healing, that was, and they're like, I just felt so safe. And then all of a sudden I just was crying, and I'm like, yeah. And so different people are having different experiences with it, and they've been sharing that with me. And, it's not something that they wanted to share publicly, which is sad, because I think it would be good for everybody to see that there was something going on. But I'm glad that they've been having those experiences. And I'm going to continue doing things like that. So if you're not following me on Facebook, I'm Jen Kruse.16. Come follow my page. So, because I'm always doing something like that.
Yeah, you've got a lot of fun things out on your page. You've got a lot. You should follow her. She's doing great. She's very entertaining. So follow her, subscribe.
I'm entertaining. I'm always talking about something. Google says Bigfoot is not real. Yes. Okay. So I got Grok on my phone, which is an AI program, just because one of my clients was talking about it. And I've got different clients talking about that, and even friends and everybody who's been using Grok. And Grok has different personalities you can talk to. It's an AI.
Grok can be very naughty. Jen showed us the naughty version.
It's got like the unhinged. It's got the sexy. It's got the romantic. It's got the assistant. It could just be your assistant and look things up for you or help you understand things or whatever. And it even has a therapy mode, so you could talk to it about your problems and it'll talk to you in like a caring way, just to listen to your problems and whatnot. So we go on there and we start asking questions about the SHE-Squatchers, and just to hear what it says. And it was so funny. I wish we would have been videoing that, because that was hilarious. Just our reactions to hearing what it was saying was just funny.
It was wrong. Basically called us a bunch of perverts.
Well, it was on the unhinged mode. That's why. So that's yeah. So,
but boy, oh boy, if you want dirty talk, just hit whatever it is, grunge, and turn it on the right mode. And Jen showed us, and we were just like, what?
I thought it was so funny. Google's not real. Just Google it. It's true. Really?
No doubt. I always tell my sister, she's like, where did you hear that? And I said, I'm Google. Google knows everything.
Right? There you go. Jen is fun to watch. Well, thank you, Wendell. I appreciate you.
Aw.
Yeah. I'm always trying to come up with some kind of experiments. And if you've been following me for years, you might remember that I was posting up videos of hummingbirds and telling my empaths to feel the energy of that hummingbird through the video. People are shocked you can feel energy of a living creature through a video. Absolutely, you can. Anything you can. And hummingbirds have amazing energy. So if there's an empaths out there, find some videos of some hummingbirds online and see what you come up with, because they have the most amazing little energy to feel in a video. So there's always some fun psychic experiments to do to see what you can do at home.
Right.
Through the internet, Jena.
Yes. What do you mean?
Through their phones on the internet. All these fun.
Oh, well, if it's something like that, I'll pick up the dang phone. But
so Jena's not very good. She's been very good about getting back to me on messages lately. But if she's not looking at my messages, I call her.
She does. She video calls me. She's just like, Jena, what are you doing? Where are you? I'm like, Jen. I am all over the place though. So thank you for always checking on me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she's my bestie, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I love watching you dance and singing. Aw.
That's so sweet.
That's both of us because I don't think I dance on Facebook. Oh no, I
Oh,
did do a little dancing on Facebook.
do a little dance. Make a little beep. I don't know if I can say perverted stuff here.
That's not perverted. That's a song.
I know, but I didn't know how far I could take the song because.
Oh,
All
okay.
right,
Okay.
I'll just do it. Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. What is up? You started me singing, and now I can't stop.
Well, you're always singing.
You're
Okay,
right.
I just got to tell you, this is a little insight into Jenna's house. Jenna has cameras all over her house.
I've got 4 cameras.
Okay, on the inside. She's got cameras outside too, just so you know.
I do. Well, I'm single. I have
know.
to protect myself.
I think it's a great idea. I
Thank
love
you.
it. So every once in a while, she'll send me a video of her indoor cameras.
I do.
She's like, I didn't realize I sang like all the time.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was putting my friends through. I really didn't. And when I think I'm quiet, when I think, oh, I've been so quiet lately, I'm not. I just think I am. It's embarrassing. So I'm sorry, Jen, I'm saying that right now. But I think you like it.
I do. I love it. I love you for who you are and
Aw.
don't change it.
Thank you. I won't. And ditto, I love you exactly who you are and how you are too.
Yay. And I wish I could sing like you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very gifted. You know,
You're so
when Ben was here with us in Texas, Ben was playing the guitar, just making stuff up, and Jenna was just singing, making stuff up with him. And Jason's like, da, da, da. I'm like, you should be filming this, Jason, because that's not a real song. They're just doing that on spontaneous. He's like, that's not a real song for real. And he's like, is that a real song? They're like, no.
You know, that's one of my favorite things is just doing jam sessions and just. So Jenna, you're very camera shy. I see. I am.
Okay, I'm just gonna say about Instagram. I've recently connected my Facebook to Instagram. I'm not actually doing anything except I post on Facebook and it goes on Instagram. I'm not even really sure how to look at my Instagram. There you go. There you go. I'm singing at a dinner theater on Saturday.
Ooh.
What? Going to sing You're a Mean One. Really?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. That one?
Yes, that sounds like a Carl. That sounds great.
Fun. I used to sing at a dinner theater. Oh my gosh, how fun.
Oh, that is fun. I was asked to be in a dinner theater, but not as a singer. I was asked when they were doing dinner theater in Fargo. They were putting together a team. They were going to do a play called How to Speak Minnesotan. And I have such a lovely little Minnesotan accent. And there was a part of a big-breasted Minnesotan woman. It was like a little sex kitten that she was talking like that. Yeah, you betcha, don't you know? And they wanted me to play the part, and I wanted to, but my daughter was so young, and I would have had to travel with them to do the dinner theater in Chanhassen and things like that. And so I said I couldn't do it because I didn't have anybody. I was a single mom. So couldn't do it. But yeah, that would be really fun.
Elvira.
Go ahead, Jenna.
What? What did you say?
I was singing it with you.
Good. I wonder if they can hear both of our voices at the same time.
We don't know. You sing it, Elvira.
Chucko. No,
Meow.
Wait. Elvira. Elvira. My heart is on fire. Elvira. Papa, Mau, giddy up. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that for so long. I can't believe it.
I know. So Jenna has a karaoke machine at her place. So then
Yes.
we're not doing anything else. We're doing karaoke.
Yes. Actually, it's at a friend of mine, her house, because I went over there. Oh my gosh, this karaoke machine, and I got it on Amazon, but it's got this quiz thing where you can have however many people sign into this quiz like on their phones, and then everybody picks their answers. It is so fun. Oh my gosh. That's my bass part. Nice. Oompa, 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 mau, mau.
Yeah, that's so fun. That's so fun.
But yeah, it was so fun to do the quiz. I just thought, wow, I had no idea. A new part of life now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when we're off the show, Jena, we have to talk about if I'm coming down there.
Oh, for the next expedition?
For Texas, and we were
Yes.
talking about a winter trip. So we need to
Yes.
talk about that. So it just popped in my head. So I thought I better say it before it's gone because I thought about it a few times today.
Yay. Okay.
And yeah, so there's that. But we've been on for over an hour and a half. So do you have more questions? Oh, let's see. There's a question. I was just going to say, if you don't have any more questions, here's a next conference. I think there will be karaoke. You know, there have been lots of Bigfoot conferences that have karaoke at night. And it's just funny how many Bigfoot researchers can sing their little hearts out. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mhm.
I'm sure you two have answered this question a million times. What confuses me is why isn't Bigfoot more advanced than regular humans if they are bigger, stronger versions of us?
I think they probably are. That's why they're staying away from humans.
What do you mean by more advanced? I think that in general, people think that technology makes you more advanced. But I don't consider that more advanced. I think consciousness is the true way to measure being advanced. For example, I had when I went to school for higher brain in Chicago, there was a lady in my class who shared with me that she was an alien abductee. And I asked her lots of questions about that because I found that very fascinating. And she shared with me that she was being taken by the aliens who look like really large humanoid praying mantis. And she said that she was able to get control of herself when they were taking her. They'd been taking her whole life, and she was able to gain control of that. And she told them she no longer wanted to be taken. And they told her just a few more times. They had taken her eggs and they had made hybrid babies, and they were introducing her to those babies and things like that. And she asked them why they were doing this. And they said that it was because certain people, certain humans have developed their consciousness to a certain degree that has unlocked parts of their DNA that they are able to travel interdimensionally through consciousness alone instead of technology. And they could travel interdimensionally using technology, but they wanted to breed that DNA into theirs so they didn't need to use technology to travel interdimensionally. They wanted to do it via consciousness. So I think that just kind of struck a chord with me because I've always said time travel and interdimensional travel and all these types of really science fiction type ways of travel would not necessarily be a technology more than it is a consciousness. That consciousness would be the best way to do it, because if you're using technology to do it, the earth is moving really fast and it's always moving. You would have to know exactly where you want to materialize. If you were going to teleport from here to there, you'd have to know exactly where based upon the earth movement. And you don't want to materialize in the middle of a wall, right? That would kill you. So I say, really, consciousness would be the way to go if you just willed yourself there, because you're not going to will yourself into the middle of the wall. You'd will yourself in the middle of the room, right? So I think consciousness is the way to go. So not just saying that Bigfoot isn't more advanced than us. I think that's a reach, because if if they perhaps are more advanced than us via consciousness. I'm going to tell you right now that all animals and plants and trees are empaths. Humans are the ones that have fallen out of alignment with the harmony of nature. And they've proven that. You can go on YouTube right now and you can look up videos called The Secret Life of Plants. This is science from the 60s. You can watch these experiments being done in the laboratory, testing plants that were thinking, identifying perpetrators of a crime. This is all real science stuff that they even went through, and they were doing, you remember that show Mythbusters? They even did some of those experiments on Mythbusters to see if it was true. There's all kinds of different things that plants can sense what other people are feeling in the next room. So being an empath is a natural state of being for nature, to be aware of your interconnection with all things and everything around you. And is it more advanced to be not aware of that? I don't think it is. I think that humans just fell out of that harmony and we're going back in.
But aren't we already partially doing that with astral projection? We just haven't done the physical, the physical being. You know what I mean? When
Yes.
they're talking.
We are traveling through astral projection. Psychics can, so everybody is psychic. I'm just going to say that everybody is capable of doing these things. It's just a part of their conscious awareness to tap into that. And so it's not that people are born doing that. Absolutely. They are. Some people have an easier aspect of getting access to that. Yes. But anybody can learn how to tap into it because it's all part of the human experience. And so I'm just going to say that it's everybody can do that. Everybody can tap into that knowing, and everybody can do that. So, and you already do. When everybody's experienced thinking about somebody and then they call you. I mean, how many times has that happened to you? I mean, that is you being that interconnected, that awareness that they were going to call you, that kind of thing. They've been even in science. They hooked up a bunch of people to electrodes to see how they reacted to things. And they discovered by accident that people were reacting in their brain to visual stimuli 4 to 8 seconds prior to seeing it. They were reacting to visual stimuli 4 to 8 seconds before seeing it. Do I need to say it again? Because that's really a big deal. This is science. Science is really cool. I mean, I look up stuff all the time. I spend a lot of time looking things up and reading about science experiments that they're doing because it's fascinating stuff to me. The stuff that they're able to prove and the things that they're looking at. It's just fascinating stuff. And I'm like, yep, I knew that was true. Yep, I knew that was true. I'm so glad that science is starting to catch up. Great to watch you have fun. Have a merry. Thank you.
Oh, you have a wonderful Christmas too. Mwah!
By more advanced, I did mean technology, but I understand your answer. Yeah. So I'm going to say that when I was remote viewing those Bigfoots from the mid 1850s, the conversation that the native told me later about what happened between their relationship with the Bigfoot that they were living in their village with, that they could speak the same language, that they were friends, they literally lived together, was that the Bigfoot didn't like what was going on with the interactions that was going on with the settlers that were coming here. They didn't like where things were going, and they wanted to go further into the wilderness, and they wanted the natives to go with them. But they enjoyed doing the trading and having interactions with the settlers here. They didn't want to stop doing that. And so the Bigfoot said they had to go and they weren't going to be part of them anymore. And they left because they wanted nothing to do with any of that. And that was their conscious choice. And so if you believe that, and I do, because I saw them together before he even told me any of that. And that's wisdom from their tribe out in Yakima. So if you believe that, and I do, I mean, it's up to you whether you want to believe whatever we share with you anyway. I mean, I can't force people to understand or to believe what we tell them or whatever is going. I mean, we're just here to share. So there's that. What do you think of that, Jenna?
I don't know. I stopped listening for a minute. I'm sorry.
I
you were
do that
talking.
too.
You were speaking so wonderfully, and I kind of got sidetracked on a text. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So, according to my tribe, when I talk to the elders about Bigfoot, Bigfoot is consciously more advanced than we are. That they can physically travel with a thought. And this isn't a new idea, because when I was going through my spiritual awakening and I had my native elder, the one who named me, when he was encouraging me to open my awareness and to grow and expand that on a conscious level, he was encouraging me to remember what my ancestors knew. And in that, he told me a lot of really fantastic things that my ancestors could do. And one of them was physical travel with a thought. One of them was that. And he said that we could walk through the stone, and that our people would trade with the Hopi. So I'm up in Minnesota, that our people would trade with the Hopi way down in the Southwest. And it was my ancestors who would take the goods that we had to trade to them simply by walking through the stone here, and they would walk out of the stone there, and they would trade the goods and then come back. And so he was encouraging me to try to do that, to remember how to do that, because he said it's in my genetic memory that I can remember how to do such things. I'm going to say that that idea in those moments were so fantastical and so out there. It was hard for me to fathom that could be true. But as a Reiki master teacher doing energy work, there is a form of Reiki that is a distance Reiki that says we can send energy across all time, space, distance, barrier, and dimension. And I know that it's true that we can send energy. And I am energy, and you are energy. Everything here is just energy. So it makes sense on that plane of knowing that we could send ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to believe in it enough, I think. So this is also why I was so fascinated with petroglyphs and pictographs, the ancient native rock carvings, because wherever they were drawing portals, I think that they were marking the places where the portals were in the stone. And so I want to go to those places and see if I can walk through them. Wouldn't that be cool? We need to do more of that. We need to do more of that.
We need sponsors.
Yes. Yes.
People who want us.
Not as a parlor trick, but have you thought about remote viewing AI Atlas, that space? Lollipop is intriguing. Okay, so yes, I haven't done that, but I know lots of people in the UFO community. I'm friends with Lily Nova on YouTube. She does a lot of that information about AI Atlas, and I just haven't spent any time looking at any of that. I think it would be a good idea maybe to look at it. I don't even know what's currently going on with that because I've been doing my own thing. So I'm not even sure where it is right now or how close it is to the earth at this moment. I think I caught Jenna sleeping with, hey, eyes open.
I saw that comment earlier and I pretended to sleep. I wasn't sleeping. I was just squirreling out. Sorry.
Wear a helmet. There you go. The Small Town Monster Group has a hair comb from way back depicting a Sasquatch that supposedly had married into the tribe. Yep.
That's awesome.
There's stories from the tribes about women being with Bigfoots. So yeah. Yep. I believe that. I've tried to reach you several times, but I don't know if you have felt me. Well, if you want to reach me energetically, we could set up a time and do an experiment. How's that? Just message me on Facebook and we'll talk
now
about
Jen gets 3,000 messages saying,
No.
I want to connect.
That's specifically to Wendell. I know you follow me on Facebook. That's specifically to Wendell. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. We're having a storm tonight. And so tomorrow looks like it might be a snow day. I was thinking today while I was working, what am I going to do? Because I'm losing a whole day of work over the stupid storm. And then the next week is Christmas. So I'm going to miss 2 days work. And the next week after that is New Year's. This is really sucky for a girl who has her own business. So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll put something out on Facebook that I'll do distance Reiki tomorrow or something like that, and see if we can scrounge up some business to do from home. But that sounds like a good fun time. But I need a different keyboard. Because when I do distance Reiki, I like to have a keyboard that is not my laptop in my lap, and I just close my eyes, put something in my ears, and I do Reiki. And the whole time I type 102 words a minute, by the way. I just type the whole thing, everything I'm experiencing. And so it's a way more than, yeah.
Still today you can type 100 and
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I am impressed. I
Yeah.
could probably get like 50 out of these babies.
So I
Oops.
type everything that I'm experiencing during the Reiki session with the person. So it's kind of like a little report that they get a copy of. So that's kind of fun. And I never know what's going to be coming through. It just is what it is. It comes, whatever comes through. And I tell people if they want to ask some questions, that might help to direct it a little bit. But, Reiki is whatever needs to come through, comes through. So
Same thing with messages. When we receive information, it's because it needs to come there. It needs to be brought out. It needs to be talked about.
yes. The medicine clown of the Cherokee could see the future. Maybe the Sasquatch could see further into the future, and see contact with the whites would mean their downfall. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that's true. As a matter of fact, the people, there were teachers that came to my tribe of people a long time ago, way before the settlers came. I'm talking way before the settlers came. And the teachers were said to walk out of the Great Saltwater on the east coast of what is now Northern America and Southern Canada, where the tribe lived at that time. And they said that they lived at the bottom of the ocean, and they came to tell the people what was coming. And they told them 7 prophecies of future times, and each prophecy came with instructions on what to do when that thing happened. And so each one of those 7 prophecies was given by one of the 7 prophets, the seven that walked out of the water. And they were different. They were different. And all of those things have now happened. We're in the time of the 7th fire right now. And so literally they gave road directions on where they needed to leave the coast. They said to go inland. They gave them directions on where to go. And then they had to follow the Magi shells, which are, Magi shells are really little tiny shells that come up from the ocean, but they were up around the Great Lakes, which they shouldn't have been there. And so whenever I was reading or hearing about that, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And I asked elders a lot of questions about that and discovered that they were talking about ships that rose up out of the water that just looked like shells, but they were huge. So, I mean, really, really cool things. But but my tribal people were told to leave the coast to get away from the whites that were coming. And they were told where to go and where to stay and to never leave those places. And so it's a very, very in-depth, and it's very, very large teaching that is very, very little of it is actually shared online or in any books. I've looked very hard and extensively for more in-depth teachings of it that are written down, because the stuff that I received orally, a lot of the native wisdom is shared in oral histories, right? And it's just not written down. So the really intricate stuff, a lot of it I've memorized.
Your brain is amazing. How you remember everything is beyond me. Holy moly.
Mm-hmm. So, we have similar stories, even one of a man with wounds on his arms and ankles coming from across the water. Yes. Which tribe are you from? Is that the Oneida? Because I know the Oneida tribe had stories of their teacher that came to them. And he just appeared in the middle of their village. And it was like a beam me up Scotty moment, right? He just materialized in the middle of the village in front of everybody. And the people were scared, and they thought he must be a ghost or something. Plus, he was wearing weird clothing, weird garments that they'd never seen before. And he had weird facial hair that the men here just didn't have. Because the natives who were 100% native didn't have beards or mustaches. They just didn't grow hair like that. They also didn't have chest hair or back hair. And so that was a very white thing. But the man who materialized in their village had this weird facial hair they'd never seen before, and he just looked very different from them. But he could speak their language, and he said he was traveling all over the world, teaching people everywhere about the Creator, about the ways of right being, and he shared the medicine wheel with them. And with the medicine wheel is a circle with a cross inside, by the way. And if you go back to the earliest Christian churches, that's how they drew a cross. And so the medicine wheel teachings came from these teachers that went everywhere. And they said, "What is your name?" And he said, "Wherever I go, the people name me in their language, describing who I am to them." And they said, "No, no, 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 no. We like to call people what they were called from birth. What is that name? We want that name." And he said, "Jesus, Jesus Callistos," which is basically Jesus Galilee. So isn't that cool? That was from the Oneida tribe.
Ooh, I just had my legs under my knees just went
Right?
tingly.
Right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, Christians came over here as settlers demanding to establish Christianity in a place that, according to the old teachings and the old stories, he was already here. And he already taught the people, and all the medicine wheel teachings and all that came from him, from certain tribes. And there were different teachers that went to different people. But some of them sounded an awful lot like Jesus. And some of them came, some talk about the man who came with 12 helpers. So, I mean, some of the stuff, I mean, you have to wonder, the Catholic Church was very involved in eliminating their wisdom of the native people on this continent. And you have to wonder, were they just trying to integrate them and assimilate them, or were they trying to erase what they knew? Kind of got to wonder. I wonder about that a lot.
Control, control, control.
Right? Can I know what my gay lover's thinking right now?
Oh, yeah, probably.
You can know that. I'm sure you could. Never heard that one. Okay, that probably about the Oneida tribe, right? And your Cherokee. All right, I love it. I love it. I'd love to hear about your Cherokee tribe, last tribe of the 12. Yes. So it is believed that some of the native people are some of the lost tribes of Israel. And it's very possible, especially since some of the petroglyphs that are found here are actually a parent language of Hebrew, Sabian, and another language. They've just recently, in the last maybe 15 years, discovered that some of the petroglyphs are actually an ancient language that predates Hebrew and Sabian. And it's actually a parent language, because just like people have family trees, and maybe we have the same great-great-grandmother, right? And we just get so far apart that we don't know, and things change, and we maybe don't look alike anymore, and we just lose track of who our family is. Languages change over time too. If you ever heard old English doesn't even sound like English. Da means daughter. It doesn't even sound like English. If you were to hear somebody speak old English, you wouldn't even be able to understand it. So I'm just saying that languages change over time as well. And so like Ojibwe language is an Algonquin language dialect. And so if you look at all the other tribes that have an Algonquin language dialect, they may not be Ojibwe, but they came from the same language. So languages change over time too. And so there's a language family tree. And so some of these old languages that the Bible was even written in had a parent language. And so some of those writings are here on this continent in America. And isn't that cool? The ones down in Colorado on the Purgatory River, also known as the Picket Wire River writings, some of them, when they translated them using those ancient languages, they said things like, Ham, son of Noah, the women he will deliver. Let the women go forth. It talks about the mound of Yah being located right there above those carvings. And that's in Colorado. The mound of Yah. And if you don't know, Yah was one of the names of God in the Bible. And the mound of Yah is in Colorado? I'm just telling you, a mound is not something that is not a mountain. A mount is a mountain. A mound is something that is built. So what the heck is in Colorado? It's on an Army training base. So we can't just go there. But as a Native person, I'm now enrolled in the tribe. Maybe I can get access to going there. Maybe I can get access to accessing these Native sites because I'm Native. And that is one of the things that I would love to go. I would love to go explore that area and climb the Mound of Yah and see what that feels like. What is that energy like? These are all the things that go on in my head. I'm sorry. I'm not even looking at the comments. I need to go back to that. I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent.
I think people love listening to you talk, Jen. You speak so well. It's so enjoyable.
Good night. Good night, Wendell. I hope to hear.
Good night, Wendell.
We share similar rituals to those of the Israelites and Africans. That's true. That's true. Let's see here. I read someplace that some of the missing 30 years of Jesus' life is spent in America with Native Americans. And I think that's possible. I think there's also some information that says, okay, this might boggle your mind, and I don't want to like shake anybody to the core, but maybe I will. Jesus could heal people and bring people back from the dead. He supposedly taught that to the disciples who could also do that. So why didn't they bring Jesus back? And maybe they did. And maybe he lived somewhere else in the world after he was crucified. And there are records of said man living in another part of the world. He has a grave. He lived to 120 years old, and he had the markings of the crucifixion and said that's who he was. Look it up.
That's so interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, look it up. Just saying that the information is out there. You have access to the internet. Look it up. There's a very well-marked grave. There are lots of Buddhist Christian churches that are together now because they believe that Jesus was reincarnated and came back. He was the Buddha, that he was the Buddha. It was the same person reincarnated and came back again. It's an interesting thing. Actually, years and years and years and years ago, one of my Reiki students said, hey, Jen, I want you to turn on PBS right now because there's a show about the Buddha on PBS right now, PBS. So on YouTube, I think you can still watch it. It's a 2-hour show called The Buddha from PBS. And they talk about the life of Buddha. And I had never known much about Buddha, I guess, at that point. And so I watched and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much like Jesus. He had 12 disciples. He did all these amazing things. And the teachings were very, very similar. It's very interesting. And so now there's all these Christian Buddhist churches that believe that he was one and the same, that he had just come back. Old soul. Yep. Yahweh was the name of God in the Bible. Old soul. Yep. And 3 times. I'm not sure what the 3 times was about. Of course, I don't know when you commented that. So I know we've been on for 2 hours now, Jenna. Can you believe it?
Yes. I'm tired. I got no sleep last night at all. So I'm not tired of listening to you speak or getting to engage with everyone. I'm just a little tired. So yes, the 2 hours. It goes quick. It goes quick. And it's so nice. It's so nice that you guys are interacting with us and asking us questions and telling us things about your lives and your experiences. And I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and interacting with us tonight. And boy, I went off on a tangent, didn't I? But hopefully you enjoyed some of it.
Your tangent was fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. I encourage you to go look it up. Actually, there is a book that talks about a little bit about it. It's called The Essentials of Reiki by Diane somebody. That is where I first learned about that because one of my students had bought that book and was like, Jen, can I ask you about this? And because she read it in this book, and I was like, well, that's worth looking into, I think, because it makes sense that, and, that's one of the things that I used to ask when I was a kid. I was a really deep kid. That I asked a lot of questions about religion because I was in church all of the time. And I asked a lot of questions when things didn't make sense to me. I wanted to understand. And so one of the questions I asked was, Jesus could heal people, and he taught the disciples how to heal people. And he told people to keep teaching this, and that they could do all these things and more, that all the things he could do, you could do too, and more. He said that. So where are they now? And that was one of the questions that I kept asking to the pastors. Where are they now? Where are the people that do this now? And they were just, the questions that I would ask would just shock them because they didn't know the answer to the question. A lot of the questions I asked would just really shock the pastors.
But you always do have great questions. And I know from knowing you and talking to you, you're always grasping at new ideas and thinking about how you can use those new ideas with things that you say that how do you say it again? You say they're in your files.
Oh yeah. And okay. So all of us humans have compartmentalized brains. We've broken our brain up into compartments. And when you have stored information in one compartment and different stored information in another, you don't actually think about those two things at the same time usually. So, and it's just like when I took computer programming in high school, in order for you have to tell the computer what to think with algebra, and you have to say A plus B equals this, da, 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 da. So you tell the computer what to think with code and algebra, right? So you're telling it this is how it works. But you can't put two opposing equations together saying that they can't oppose each other. It will lock your computer up if you tell it two opposing things that they can't both be true at the same time. It will lock it up and it will not work, right? So our brains are essentially designed that way, that in order to hold two opposing facts of information that are completely opposite, they both cannot be true at the same time. We had to compartmentalize our brain and break it up into compartments to hold this fact and this fact at the same time, because they cannot be stored together. They cannot, because they can't both be true. We just can't. And so my brain was always like, that doesn't make sense. How can it be this and that? That doesn't make, because I was comparing my compartments. I was comparing it. But I still have a lot of we still have compartments, but when you shift through them, you can start going, these don't fit together. What is the real answer here? Because they can't both be true. And when you start doing that, your whole world opens up and your whole awareness begins to open into something that's really real, something that's been hidden from you all these years of your life. There's so much more to see. There's so much more to experience. There's so much more to know when you open your consciousness and you start examining everything that you think you know with a question mark behind it, and really look into those things, which I've done. I've spent years doing it, and like more than 20 years, I've been diving deep into these things, and it's all stored in here. It's all in here. And when I start talking, it just doesn't stop, as you can see. Let's see. They are all inside every person. It's just been shut off. We can all access all of this information. People heal others a little bit at a time with hugs. Everyone has healing abilities. I agree. 100%. Hugs are healing. Touch is very healing. And I'm very much into that. We are huggers, just so you know, both of us, yes. Right, Jena?
Oh my gosh, I hug everybody. Jen used to make fun of me that I hugged everybody. She was like, "Oh, watch, Jenna's gonna hug him." I didn't know him, and she used to make fun of me. Now she's hardcore like I am.
No, I think you misunderstand that, Jena, because I say same thing about my mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, be careful, she's a hugger, and I do the eye roll, and then I'm like, and I learned it from her, and then I hug them too. So it's just me being teasing you. Yeah, I love it.
I love hugging people because it just feels so special. It's a special interaction between two people, and I think that's so special. Not enough people are giving hugs. Hugs are so important. You just share that love and you can feel it. You can feel it. And
absolutely.
It's beautiful. And when you can feel it, it's special because the other people are feeling it too. And everybody needs to feel that feeling. Even if they think they don't deserve it, you grab them up and you hug them. I do.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to let Jena go to bed because I know she's tired. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And as we always say, we dance into the show. We want you to dance with us. And so
Yes.
please, 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 please dance with us. Dance with us on the way out.
Dance.
I hope you're dancing.
Thank you so much for coming. Now you girls are talking about God, nothing, but we talk about everything.
We talk about whatever comes up. Anything that comes up. If there's a question that comes up, we talk about it. This is a question and answer forum. We're open to anything. Hey everyone. Have a Merry Christmas. We don't see you.